moderator, Dr. Manish. And this is one of the most sought after session of coffee with masters. So we just rename this session as a coffee with legends because I think they have crossed the limit of master, so they have become legends in ophthalmology. So we will call upon today's orators. So we'll just give us a 2-3 minutes time. So we'll make it. It's a nice session so that you all know about their life, the unknown facts of their life, how these legends have become legends, and how they have how their life is going to inspire us. So this is how exactly we are going to do that. I request Dr. Kim sir to be on stage, please, sir. At the same time, I would request Dr. S.S. Pandam sir, if you can come to the stage, and we will have, put your hands together for Dr. Pandam, Dr. Kim. And we will have our youngest master legend here, Dr. Mahi Mukil from Moofield's Eye Hospital. Dr. Mahi, can you just be on stage, please with us. So we will have a nice discussion about their life, the unknown facts of their life. So I'm sure that this is a very, very interesting session is going to be. So any good thing, this was probably the cafe coffee days, a lot of things can happen over coffee. So this is the trademark of cafe coffee day. So we will put our things, a lot of good ideas and good things we can know over coffee. So let's put our coffee here. Come, you can have a cup of coffee before you leave. Have a kind of memento for you. This is for you, sir. This is, you will remember that with your picture, me and Manish is going to be here. So this is for you, Dr. Mani, and you all can see it out here. So they are here. So we'll again, put it back. This is for him, sir. This is a nice token of, you can remember this session. And this format. And this is format. And then we have also for us, Manish, there is one for you as well. So let's start with our coffee. I would love to say this is coffee with legends. That's all. So now, this is as we have discussing a lot of brainstorming situations. This is not a brainstorming. This is just sit quietly with them and listening to them, learning wisdom. I would say not the knowledge; it is the learning wisdom from them. We will start with Prema ma'am first. Ma'am, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tashmai Sri Gurave Namah. And you all are teachers, and we respect from our heart that all the teachers, those who have, given the shape of a clay to the what we are. So any day getting you is a Guru Purnima day for us. And I strongly believe that this is also kind of sentiment. During your oration, I can make it out. So if you can say few words, I know that it will not be so easy, but how this man has transformed all of our life, but how influential he is in your life.
This is probably the most difficult thing to answer, especially with just words. But yes, I think a teacher plays probably the most important role in an individual's life. He was really the sculptor who shaped raw stones into ever so many extraordinary awesome knowledges, right? Spread out all over. All of you carry that spark of healing. I think that is an unparalleled influence that he continues to have. He's like one big banyan tree.
True, it is very live. Born at Bangalore and then schooling at Delhi and then settling down at Chennai. So you have a pan-India exposure and born in a Tamil family. And then how that's why your English is not that, your Hindi is not that bad. When I was really, I'll tell you a brief story. When I joined as a post-graduation at Shankaracharya, then first 2 months of my orientation program, then the first posting was with PP ma'am. Now she's the director there, and the top notches of India she is operating, and I was assisting her. So now imagine the kind of palpitation I used to have every day early in the morning at 7 o'clock. So hopefully I used to pray God, okay, at least this day should be over. There should not be any complication. So, and believe me, she realized that I'm in that much of panic. So she called me one day. Don't get your joy. Whatever you are doing is absolutely fine. I'm quite happy with that. So don't get panicked. And getting assurance from a teacher of that stature, actually that gave me a nice confidence, ma'am. And actually, believe me, from there I did not have any those kind of panic situation after that. And we had a nice bonding there. Before going to Shankaracharya, I used to have some knowledge about medicine. So at the end of the day, when I used to be with ma'ams in the OPD, then ma'am used to sit at the end of the day like this. At the end of definitely at 3:30, 4 o'clock, she will be once or twice, she will do like this. And I noticed it, but I could not tell ma'am that what is happening. Then she told me, and your secretary used to tell that now don't disturb ma'am right now. She is having headache now. So then I realized one day I asked ma'am, what is happening? She told, I have a bad migraine, ma'am. And do you remember that? So with my small, please.
And he became my doctor, and he prescribed something which was a non-steroid anti-inflammatory. Yes. Nothing else worked except what he gave me, and then after that, it was, I have a headache, Rupa, what do I do?
So actually, I was a savior for that time. So yes, I have given a simple paracetamol with a caffeine combination, nothing else. So let me be very honest on that. So this is how we have, become teacher and student relationship. That bonding has become. One day I remember there was a one-eyed gentleman, and he was supposed to operate on him. He was very close to chief, and those who have passed from Shankaracharya, they will know that there should not be any boil or any source of infection on that on the day of surgery. So the previous night, I just discovered that this gentleman having a big carbuncle kind of thing under the axilla. And then I informed ma'am on the very next day that then that got cancelled, and we informed chief that because of this reason we have cancelled. So that's the valid reason of cancelling. So chief also accepted, and ma'am told that, okay, you saved my life, otherwise I would have been, in complete soup. So that's how is our sweet days and sweet memories. Medical Research Foundation, again, is a big institute or a big, I should say, a building for you. We used to call a marriage research foundation also. But this is the only exception for you where the marriage did not take place here. Though you have played, you cannot deny that is Dr. A.G. and L.V. told in the open forum that she was the key person of making them align together, of Dr. L.G. and L.V. So she was the actually key person of making them together. So then I asked Madam, how did you, today morning I asked, how did you get married? Her answer was totally astonished me. Because I also didn't know how did I get married. It was so nice of you. But again, I would like to put on this perspective, I'd like to put you, few of your thought process is like a one-liner for you. How do you define life?
I think life is a journey back home.
So nice. So it is what you have started, and again you go back to your home. So this is the life you carry with you. This is how the legends think about life. Dream.
I think life itself will turn out to be a dream when we wake up.
Okay. So your dream, you live with the dream in your life. So that's how she thinks. Passion.
Passion is probably the biggest motivator for most things. But you need to have enlightened passion to take you along your path.
Okay. So this is probably the dream and passion. So passion, you would like to put it collaboration with the dream, so that it brings a meaningful life. That's what you wanted to do. This is what the legend thinks. Most difficult thing for you. Do you feel that I don't want to do this thing? This is the most difficult thing for you. Not sure about it. Because I know, I'll tell you why. Because nothing is difficult for her. A person who has operated on the President of India, the wife of President of India. So I think there is hardly any surgeon in India who has dared to do this surgery together and then. So again, one round of applause for Dr. Prema. What you are most scared with, other than chief?
Would be most scared to face myself if I was dishonest.
So powerful and so loaded word is difficult to carry. Thank you, ma'am. This is she told the most difficult thing, to accept myself as a dishonest. Thank you, ma'am. You take a little breath for that. I mean, maybe I will now start with Dr. Kim. Sir is also you all can read these things, no? Director of Information Technology and System, Arvind Eye Hospital. So a medical person who comes suddenly has become the director. Why not Dr. V could have thought of anybody else to put there? So what do you think that why Sir has become director there? Any guess? Because he was supposed to be, he had an idea that he should be an engineer, and an architectural engineer. How architectural engineer? If you can say that. Listen from him.
It's just that, I had a lot of exposure. My father was a civil engineer, and I was exposed to a lot, and then I was very passionate about, I always used to play with the Legos. And even today, wherever I get an opportunity, I start building houses and stuff like that. So that passion still remains to design buildings or design houses especially. So that's how that continues to be there. Yeah.
What sir did not tell, I'll reveal one more story. Sir, Dr. GB and your parents were very close. And for the building of the Arvind Eye Hospital, sir's parents, they have donated a significant amount that way. But even more than that is, he worked as a labor. I repeat, he worked as a labor along with the machines of building up the building of Arvind Eye Hospital. So just put your hands together for this region, how they have, they become passionate to create something. So that's how this is the passion. And now he had that time itself he had an idea that he will become an architectural engineer. Now Dr. GB has catched hold on him. I don't know. You come to medical fraternity and then get it. Then even after that also, you did your medical schooling from Andhra Pradesh. And when he used to get a leave, he used to go there and work for Arvind Eye Hospital. So at that time only, Dr. GB has decided that yes, he has to come to the Arvind Eye Hospital and he has to work for that and your dream. So a few words about that great gentleman who has shaped you, or who has actually you have looked up to.
Thank you. Fortunately, that we was part of our family. He was my uncle, and from childhood, I've been fortunate enough to grow under his guidance, and a lot of things that he was a real light for all of us to show what to do. So that's how I continue to be very passionate about what we do in the hospital. Even in school days, he mentioned I was a labor, but it's just that the interest to go and work in the construction site was a little learning for me. And then even after the hospital was built and when I was in medical school, in holidays I used to come and work in the hospital, not as a doctor, but more as a person to understand the different aspects of the hospital management. It was not at the management level I would sit. I would be in the registration desk or taking patients to the different locations. And those were kind of a lot of learnings that came through this entire process. And that's how Dr. Lee taught us on what we should be doing.
There's a term in Bengali, Johuri Johorche. So that means the person, the jeweler can find out the proper gem. And then they sculpt on that and then create the diamond. So that's how is Dr. GB and you are bonded together. Yes, this gentleman.
Dr. Perumal Swami needs no introduction. He was my mentor. I trained in retina under him, and not only for retina, he continues to guide us in many, many ways. He's a wonderful, he tells us, or he taught us what passion is all about. Being passionate about retina. I mean, he really, really made us understand, as I said, initially I was not very keen, and in fact I was looking at orbit and oculoplasty, and when I started working with him, and that's how that turned the entire thing, and then I wanted to be a retina person, and fortunately he was there to guide us, handhold us, and as you may know, he's the first vitreous surgeon in the country. The first vitrectomy happened in Madurai, and so we were all very fortunate to be trained under him. He's very passionate about teaching and training people, and that's where we are. And fortunately, we are still being guided by him. Thank you.
Those who are in retina fraternity, they know how passionate he is as a teacher. Sir, you wanted to be a oculoplasty surgeon, no?
Initially, yes.
Initially. Okay. So that's how you have chosen your life partner. And because you could not do so, at least let my better half be a oculoplasty surgeon.
I knew this would be coming. She
Or
became,
it's just a coincidence?
it was just a coincidence. She also didn't choose, it was not by choice, it more by chance that she had to become, because we didn't have any oculoplastic surgeon at that time, and so Nacho called her and said, take up this, and then that's when she started working on oculoplasty. So she was also by chance.
So on here we accept the fact that you did not choose, it is a destiny who has chosen you for the half of the oculoplasty. Okay. So this is how this is his, the small playing tool for him. He is not a very big, you don't need to have, you just need like this kind of building blocks. So give him to him, you will spend hours together of building the blocks. So that's the back of his mind, the architecture engineer always wants. Would you like to, this is passionate,
This was one of the passion at that point of time in school and college, and it stopped at that. Unfortunately, after coming into Arvind, we never had an opportunity to be there. But this still continues to continue to work.
Do you watch regularly?
Almost.
World Cup?
Yes. Almost.
Okay, we don't have time, otherwise I could have asked you of the World Cup to test you actually whether you have seen or not. So, this lovely couple, both of them, I mean, there is no other option for them other than being ophthalmologist. So, son and daughter-in-law, they are, if you can tell few words about them, we don't know anything about them.
They're both becoming ophthalmologists. I mean, my son is already, he just finished his MS, and my daughter-in-law is finishing her MS for next year. But they do have an option of choosing any specialty in ophthalmology.
Other than retina and oculoplasty, or
I can choose any we don't. Yeah. So
they are free to choose their own specialty.
They are allowed to choose any specialty.
Okay. So I would like to go back again here. So I'm sure that this gentleman has influence of all ophthalmologists all over the India. So how this gentleman has influenced you or your life?
I have never seen any person of this stature being so humble. Every time I talk to him, he is down to the earth. I've never seen anybody who, with that charisma, that background, to be very inspirational, obviously. He's really made, he can be strict in the way he says things, but the way he says it, the way he talks, I don't know, Madam will know much better than me. I've had a few chances of being with Dr. Badrinath sir, but just an amazing person with that humbleness, being down to the earth. I'm yet to see anybody like that. He's a great leader.
Very true. A great leader, a great person as well. Again, the one-liner for you, your perspective to this.
Life, I don't know, life is something that I think when we think of life, it's I think the biggest gift that God has given you. So I think how you use it is what makes. So that's life. I think of life as a gift to you.
So you can describe life as a greatest opportunity and the greatest gift.
Yes, exactly.
And it is up to you how you utilize
how you
it.
make life work.
So you were talking in the morning that there has to be some purpose of life. I think that's what Dr. V used to tell you also. So then how do you describe that, or do you want to put a few words for our next generation?
This is something we learned, Life is, you can be there living. I mean, you continue to live doing something every day. But at the end of the day, when you have a purpose in life, I think you go somewhere, you achieve something. And that's what Dr. V taught us. Being purposeful in your life. makes a lot more meaning to your life than just living your life. You know, just passing every day versus having a purpose to what you're doing really makes a meaning to your life. That's what we learned from Dr. B.
Very true. How do you describe passion?
Passion, I think, Madam said it beautifully. I think passion drives you. If you have the right passion, you are there, you move forward. But without a passion, as I said, your life is just nothing. You can say passion, purpose, something that motivates you to go somewhere. I think that's how your passion should be. That's how I see passion as. Can't be like passion for doing so many things. Passion which makes your life more meaningful.
So nice, Dr. This is again the carry-home message is what you are taking it from this session. I think this is the most. What I told you is this is discussing or learning the wisdom. It is in that way you can. Most difficult thing in your life you feel so.
Most difficult thing, trying to be what you are not. It is the most difficult thing when you sometimes want to put up something that you are not. It's not your true self, and then you put up something. That's the most difficult thing to do.
So you mean feigning is the most difficult?
Feigning is the most difficult thing.
So it is you having a mask on your face and carrying with the mask is probably the most difficult. So be truthful to your life. That is is very straightforward life you can live. And what you are most scared with, except Dr. Usha.
I think Madam said it so beautifully.
I know. She's
Facing when you are not truthful. Facing yourself when you're not truthful. I think I learned it from her. That's really something I think is very difficult for any person.
very true. Very true. So is a life which is the biggest opportunity, and you should have a purpose of life. And the passion, if the passion drives your dream to be into the life, that is the ideal situation. And be truthful, and face whatever you have, so that you should not have any difficult thing to do in your life. That's how the legends taught us, and they are teaching today also. So one more round of applause to both Dr. Kim and Dr. Prema. Sir, I know that your time is very short, so I promised you that I will leave you by 3:15. So now I would like to thank you.
Thank you so much, madam. Thank you, sir. A pet product of Dr. Rupak, and he is very passionate about it. And 2 days back he told me he also be part of it. So I'll be sharing a few things about Dr. Pandav's life and his journey. And I know Dr. Pandav for almost a decade now, but last 2 days when I was interacting with him, then we realized beyond the professional life, there is so much we should know about each other, how people have come to this stage, and the journey is so inspirational. So sir has been part of so many societies, the president of Glaucoma Society, president of Chandigarh Society, head of ophthalmology, currently PGI Chandigarh. But the whole journey started from a very, very small village, Sula, near Palampur, in the Palampur district. And thanks to Google, I could get pictures of the school where he studied. So this is a government school where sir studied till class 10. And then I think sir moved to Pathankot. Yes, sir.
Manish is, he would make a good detective. There's a serial, Sherlock Holmes, but there was an Indian version of that also. What is it? Karamchandra something. So I think you are doing that role. I know from where he has fetched his pictures. I have no idea.
So this is the school where sir studied till class 10, and then sir moved to, I think, Pathankot. So a very interesting story. He was saying as kids, what we want to become. You say kids, I want to become pilot. Some kids I want to become engine drive. These things inspire you. So what was your aspiration as a school? What you wanted to become, sir? Definitely not an ophthalmologist, but what you wanted to become?
Actually, you see, I grew up in a village, and in 10th class I studied in my village only. So I never gone out of my village till that time. And till out 6th or 6th class, we didn't have any electricity in the house. So in the village, that area there was no electricity. So suddenly, it happened that we were trying to get it, and the people started visiting the house with a lot of wires and gadgets and tools. And that was a very interesting part, for me. And so after a few months, we got the bulb was lit in our house, and because my dad and my grandfather, they were trying, for several years to get the electric connection. So all the village guys, the boys, they would gather at our home to watch how, the electricity, how the bulb lights up and that kind of thing. So those guys, those fixing the electricity, they became my heroes at that time. And a few years down the line, then my headmaster asked me, you are in year 8 or 9, and what do you want to do? I said, I want to become an electrician. so that was my inspiration at that point.
Quite an inspirational journey from electrician to PGI Chandigarh head of department. And sir, this is the college where sir studied, Nagpur, and then you did your MBBS from IGMC Shimla. This is the picture I could gather thanks to Facebook about this precious party. Anyone will like to identify where is Dr. Pandav? Anyone from PGI, Harjit Singh sir or Dr. Amar Singh sir? Can you find where is Dr. Pandav in this picture?
I would be able
Can you locate him?
Ask for you.
I only the second from the left side.
Second from the left side with the tie.
Yeah.
No.
No, standing.
Oh.
Anyone else?
This is down. So next, anybody, any guess?
Right side. Right side.
Okay, right side means this person?
No, the person with spectacles. Yes, this one maybe.
No, sir, I think this is the person.
Both places wrong.
Is it correct, sir?
So you all went wrong.
So this is Dr.
These masters are saying that. You should have told.
I was not using glasses.
So this is another picture of this precious party. You can see Dr. Panda here. Yes, looking quite different now. And this is, I think, also doing MBBS, sir. So this is from Shimla. And then sir did his post-graduation from PGI Chandigarh and has been working with some great people like Dr. Dogra, Dr. Jagat. Sir, you were telling about Dr. Dogra's influence on your life.
See, I came to ophthalmology because of it. I came to medicine because of a headmaster. The moment I told him that I want to be an electrician, I could see his face changing, and I thought, oh, I said something wrong. And then later he said, my elder brother is also a doctor. But you don't like your elder brother? That he's doing medicine, you should also do medicine. So I came into medicine. And ophthalmology I came because of the Dogra. He used to teach us in the first year MBBS. I think he took our anatomy classes. He was demonstrator at that time. And then I kind of followed him through. So I had a very good rapport with him right from the beginning, and he was kind of an inspiration in that. So when he joined ophthalmology at PGI, so I also followed. I kind of had a choice between ophthalmology or surgery, but I think Dogra who tilted the balance towards ophthalmology. And I'm very glad I came to that decision, and I always thank him for that.
So we also are glad to Dr. Dogra.
I think there was a task given to you that you should climb the pole of that electricity. So his headmaster was very, very clever. So he asked him, okay, can you just climb up that electricity pole? So no, I can't do. So then he suddenly realized, oh, this is not my job. Is it correct, sir?
That's true.
And I think before sir came into glaucoma, he was also into retina clinic for I think almost 2 years, sir, with Professor Amar Gupta, sir. So now how you shifted to glaucoma?
Actually, I was working with Professor Amar, and he was doing at that time retina and glaucoma both, and also some cataracts in between. But that the time he moved away from the cataracts and was doing only retina and glaucoma, and I was helping him. But over a period of time, he became very busy with retina, and he asked me to look after his glaucoma patient. So his glaucoma patient they started coming to me more. So then he gradually said, why don't you take over the glaucoma clinic? So basically, I inherited the clinic from Professor Ambedkar. So he stopped doing glaucoma and I went into glaucoma at that time.
And this is your team from PGI, sir. I think I can see Dr. Shashmita is also there. So this is some glaucoma awareness program, sir.
Yeah, I think we have been running glaucoma awareness programs for many years. Now there's a glaucoma World Glaucoma Week. This is part of that, but even before that, we were doing some awareness activities. And in fact, we started a small group even before WGC started doing it. So that was called Glaucoma Support Group. That was at 2006 or 7 when it started. And so under that group, we were doing some awareness programs.
So anything about your hobbies? Traveling and...
Yeah, I like to travel sometimes, but I read and travel and do some basic
program. Yeah, that's very important. I think in the AIUS which happened in Chandigarh, so you were 96, you think?
96.
That in AIUS which happened in Chandigarh in 1996, there the first time AIUS started online registration, computerized registration, and that program was actually designed by Sir. So he wrote that program and then finally gave it to the event managers.
I think that was actually a challenge. A person always said you had to look after the registration. And the task was that you had to register at least 700 to 1,000 people within 1 hour. Because everyone comes in the morning and you start session. Otherwise sessions get delayed. So we don't want to delay the session. So he said you design something, whatever way. So we hunted around for the computer professionals in the city, and there were very few at that time. And those who were available, they were very expensive. And there were like 1/4 of conference budget would go, for that. So I had some friends in the computers hardware. So I asked them, why don't you help me? Okay. So when I told him what I wanted, he said, you need a programmer, we are not the right people. I said, okay, tell me how you program, I'll do the same way. So he said, okay, I'll tell you the basic computers I knew, some by that time. So he said, okay, I can give you some books. So he gave me some books actually on programming. So I said, fine. So I went through the books, I read them, and I actually, the next 3 months, I was learning the programming. And within 5-6 months, I had learned enough to create first computer program. And when I showed them, they were kind of surprised that how you do that. And they were actually motivated to that to help me further. So for the next 6 months, I think we created the entire thing. We wrote the program, we created the network, we created the servers, and it has to be multi-user system. So everything then fell into place. So it took 1 year, but because again, it was like Professor Wood was telling me, okay, you do whatever you can, and if you can't do it, there's no problem. We fall back to old methods, but I think I have kind of promised, okay, I have to do that, I have to do this, so I did this.
In fact, the electronic medical record of PGI Chandigarh has also been programmed by Sir. And so this is a family photo, very sweet photo, sir. I think this is her son.
Yeah, I have one son. I think you can see
Madam is
the pictures. And that old lady, she's my mother. She lives in the village, and I think she's the main ecosystem of the whole thing. She's the center of gravity for us. Actually, everything evolves around her. She doesn't leave her village. She doesn't like cities, so she's always stayed there all her life. So we all have to go there. They say pilgrimage for us now, actually. So because people have settled in different parts of the world, so but they all come and we have to meet her. So she is very, very cool, very composed. Absolutely. What do you call that? The picture of kindness that you have, and all the village folks, they always come and meet her. And,
thanks to you, she was very popular in her village also.
She's very popular in her village.
You will also have helped WHO in designing their website and the very famous One project. You can share something about the WHO thing.
Actually, when I was working with my project, and somehow, there was some workshops on the WHO on the international collaboration, faculty exchange programs, and they were wondering how we can do that. So they might have learned that, okay, I am involved in IT. So they came to me for consultancy actually, why don't you help us? So I helped them. I didn't program for them, but I told them how this could be done. So I helped design their website at that time, which they use for faculty exchange in the Southeast Asia. And the ground project I did develop, I only coordinated it for 2-3 years. So this is very, very good for the people. I think you just log in. It can help you, it's kind of a self-evaluation program. So how best you can read optic nerve heads from glaucoma point of view. So you go through that, it gives you what are your strong areas and what are your weak areas and how you score as compared to the externals.
Before we end this, what has been your motto, sir, coming all the way from Ula to PGI? What inspires you and what has been your motto in life?
I think just be useful to people, basically. You know, so as long as you do something which is useful, which helps someone somewhere, you know, that's very satisfying. So I don't kind of make big budget plans, but it's just on a day-to-day basis.
And one advice and message for the young optimists, including me.
I think it's hard to give a message in that sense, but I think do what you want, what you like doing. You know, basically, I think if you are doing something which you like doing, I mean, irrespective of the expectation of an award or fear of punishment. Now, if you see something is right and you want to do it, I think just go and do it. And so as long as important underlying thing is that it should not be hurtful to anybody.
To follow your passion. Thank you, sir. Rupak, next.
These are my colleagues in the operation theatre. I think probably one of the birthdays.
You can ask Sar's one-liner. Photo we have taken. So for Sar's one-liner. So should we put you, sir? What is your, how do you describe life?
I think life is a beautiful journey. I think it gives you opportunities, it gives you opportunity to serve people, to enjoy, and I think to me is a beautiful journey which we should all.
Dream, passion, life, all three, how will you put together?
The dream is, again I said, is keep doing useful things, be useful, be creative, do something new, every day if possible, but always look forward to something new. So that's my dream. So I should be doing things which are useful. And passion is something, as I said, passion is something which you like to do, irrespective of incentives or fears. So this is something you really, this something comes from your heart. That okay, this is something I have to do it. Come what may. So that kind of that's the passion.
True. Now, last two questions I will not repeat. I will just change it up. Suppose God gives you another opportunity to take a second path. So, would you like to be again head of PGI or something else?
I wouldn't mind it. I think this job has given me very big opportunity to serve. I think I didn't sort of realize when I joined it. That was not idea. I said I didn't come to medical profession because I want to do big things. But I think over a period of time, as I was doing it at every step, every stage, there were opportunities to learn, there were opportunities to help people and make this life meaningful actually. So I think that this profession gives you a lot of opportunity to be meaningful, be helpful, and be help other people in their lives. So that is something very great because helping yourself is okay, but helping other people in their lives is not easy and it doesn't come to everybody. So that I think is a very big bonus for us.
Yeah, so this is a very big word from Sir because now the newer generation, they are scared of going into the medical school because of this, a lot of haywire things is happening for the doctors. But again, what Sir told is very important that this is the biggest opportunity you get as a doctor to help other people. I will get back to you, sir. Again, a few more wisdom will come. I'll just move to. So now this is your turn, Dr. Mahi. I will now introduce Dr. Mahiul Muhammad Mukid. We put it up very short of Dr. Mahi Mukid. So now this is your turn, and don't get scared. I will have a very easy questions for you. So I have kept it for you. There is a little surprise, don't worry. But again, he is a senior veterinary surgeon at Moorfield Eye Hospital, and I would like to call him as a clinical researcher. And let me have an honest confession that the person who has actually played a key role of bringing him here is sitting in the front, Dr. Vishwanath Paul. Dr. Vishwanath is our good friend, he's little senior to us. Put your hands together for Dr. Vishwanath as well. And he is actually if I'm not wrong, heading the medical retina services in Moorfield Eye Hospital. So we have the both legends here. So, but as a protocol, we have called Dr. Mahi on stage. Sorry, Vishwanath, we'll call you next time, some other time. So we'll move on for that. And I would like to call him as a clinical researcher. So rather than a veterinary surgeon and other things, in this hall only after this session, he is going to talk on bionic eyes, today's oration. So he is actually working on it for the retinal chip and the other. I will come across and not disclose everything together now. So your time starts now. Come on. He is. I'll just give you a brief of it. Would you like to say about your family, how your parents has moved in 1971? We all know that there was a Bangladesh Kapur Shadin Hai. So that time his parents were a doctor and they have moved from Bangladesh to UK and they have settled there. And you are born in Scotland.
Yeah, that's great.
Now up to you. Start.
Yeah, no, my two parents qualified at Dhaka Medical College, and in the 70s that was the only college recognised by the UK GMC. So quite a number of them and their friends moved to the UK, and my father and mother moved to Scotland because some of their friends were there. So they were working there, I was born there, school there, yeah, so there weren't many people from our background in Scotland at the time, but that's where it all started in the 70s. Yeah.
So you were there. You actually do have the background of Bengali, but still you are born and brought up in UK.
Yeah, I mean, but my parents actually. I mean, my first birthday was in Bangladesh. Every summer we'd go back, suffer the monsoon season for months. We'd be living in Dhaka. We'd be living in the village. So we're from one of the biggest villages in Bangladesh. So we used to spend many months living under tin huts, pump water. We lived through all of that because my parents used to go back. So we were really brought up with that culture from a very young age. So, yeah.
Do you really had a struggle as an outsider in UK to settle down, or did you have any kind of problem in your childhood, your friends?
Yeah, I mean, so we actually lived outside the main city in a very small working class industrial town where, yeah, I mean, in the 80s there was a lot of tension with people from overseas, but at the end of the day we had to get tough fast, and yeah, so me and my two brothers, we used to travel into school in Glasgow, and yeah, we just, we dealt with a lot of things, but it helps to make you pretty strong. Yeah, we managed to get through things okay.
Yeah, why I've asked this question because this is having a background. Unless until, even if you are outsider, or if you think that if I can do, if you have the gene to do, that you can do it. They have proven it. This whole family has, Mukit family, they have proved it. Yes, Dr. Miratul Mukit, your elder brother.
Yeah, you asked me for some information on my family.
Yeah. So he's your elder brother. He's a chief neurosurgeon.
Yeah, he's actually a neurology professor. He's 1 year my senior, and yeah, you asked about my sibling. So he's a very successful academic. He works in Parkinson's disease. So he leads a lot of research into developing new therapies for Parkinson's disease in Scotland. Yeah.
So that's what, talking about the generation, that if you don't think that if I'm outsider, that I may not be well accepted. So he is an established vitreoretinal surgeon. His elder brother is a renowned neurologist. And now see, his eldest brother, he is the trade union leader in England. And this is the first trade union leader, if I'm correct.
He's the first Muslim trade union.
Okay.
So he was the first one that founded a trade union by Muslim in the UK. So it's now established in Yorkshire. Yeah.
So this is the first Muslim trade union. He is taking care of that.
Yeah.
So yes, so you have the connection to the base. You have everything. So if you want, you can do. So this family is successful in all the aspects. So that's what I wanted to prove, that yes, if you have the zeal to do, you can. I was talking about he is a clinical researcher, Moorfields, and UCL has awarded with you of 1.2 million research grant. Don't you start calculating of how much of Indian currency, don't go for that. Let us listen from him that how is this is possible and how you are going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, this idea came up during the pandemic, actually, where we had a lot of time in our hands. A lot of us were at home, work wasn't as intense, and we have a lot of patients with PVR retinal detachment who were having multiple operations and poor outcomes. So I decided to come up with this new study with UCL Trials Unit, and there's a drug which we think has a potential benefit. So we went to the Medical Research Council, which is a difficult grant to get. So we've actually gone through a couple of cycles of applications, and we fortunately were awarded the grant this year. So we've got a new drug which will be setting up this trial next year, and we're going to run a safety study, phase 1 study, and hopefully, as with all trials, it can show some benefit for PVR, because as we know, there's no treatment for PVR retinal detachment at the moment. And then we're hopefully then going to move on to another cycle of studies. So yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, it's exciting program about to start. So yeah.
So any research which is always exciting for you, this is for this, and he's the chief researcher for UK National Endophthalmitis Study. So how did you manage, and with your clinical work and this kind of, this needs a lot of managerial skill as well.
Yeah. So I think my research areas are always looking at certain problems that maybe we haven't thought about for a number of years, in thinking about whether we can come up with a new trial. And yeah, we're fortunate to get this grant from the NHR. So we're going to be doing a trial looking at all types of surgery, glaucoma cornea, vitreoretinal surgery, looking at early vitrectomy to see whether that's more beneficial to going much earlier. So that's actually going to be probably in a year's time we'll have the results. But yeah, going back, there really isn't, that's one of the issues I think when you're working in an organisation such as ours, as any other one, where you're very busy, you have a family to look after, and time is valuable. So to be honest, it was quite tricky to set this up, but I just managed my time somehow to keep my family happy and deliver something at work. So, but it's tough.
Yeah, so that's how we have listened to this little older generation of legends, and now the new generation of legends, how they manage their life, work, and work-life balance. This is also most important. And heading the national, this kind of projects. Yeah, this is, even after that also, you need to have a passion to work for the community. So he is, you should say, he's a very active person for the Helen Keller Foundation of all over the world, and he work in Bangladesh and Malaysia.
Indonesia previously. Yeah. I mean, this was quite interesting. In 2007, I met probably this panel will know is I met a guy called David Friedman, who's a well-known glaucoma surgeon in America, and he worked with Helen Keller, and he was working in this program, and I had I was just finishing my PhD in diabetic eye disease, and he said, look, I'm running a program in Bangladesh, are you interested? We're trying to set up a screening program, like in the UK, we have a photographic screening program. He said, why don't you go along? And since then, I've helped them through 4 programs. So I travel to Bangladesh each year, and I train up their nurses, photographers, I run workshops, and they then run these programs in government hospitals. So it's great, yeah, I worked in Indonesia, and now it's in Bangladesh, this is where this is taken from, and they've now screened over 150,000 patients with diabetic eye disease using a photographic system. So, which is the gold standard, take a picture, grade it, have an outcome. And so yeah, I'm actually going next week to pick up the final program, so yes.
Actually, we are fortunate enough that you were coming to this continent and we just catch hold of you. So this is Dr. Daniel. He is Dr. Daniel, the right side.
Yes, so this is to do with what we'll be talking about later.
Left side is...
Yeah, looking at the screen on the right side is, you probably don't know who he is, a guy called Daniel Planker. He's a professor at Stanford. And in the middle is Andrew Cusimo, who's a professor from Italy. And we were at a meeting recently in America. We all work in the area of artificial vision. And Daniel Planker actually, so you know the pattern scanning laser that you use in your clinics, so he invented that technology, and now it's used by multiple companies. He also invented laser cataract surgery, and now he developed this artificial retina, so he's a very innovative guy.
So your binding guy is in collaboration with the Stanford University?
Yeah, so he designs the chips, and then they're produced by a French company, so I work with a French company in the clinical trials. Yeah.
And he's the person who has discovered this Pascal laser?
Yeah, he's the one. I did my PhD actually in Pascal laser, so I work very closely with him to validate his system. So yeah, he's the one who came up with the whole, pattern scanning laser technique, which we all use now. So it's, yeah, a real invention. So, yeah.
Very interesting, very interesting. I would like to know, do you have time to, do your hobbies? Do you do exercise regularly? Walking? How many hours do you sleep? Honest?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've had quite tough life. I've had a lot of back problems over the years. I've had a lot of back operations over the years. Okay. So I used to be a very keen sports person. And over the years, I've had to gradually cut away many of the things which I enjoy. But this is a picture from the pandemic where everyone shut down in London. Because everything was shut down, people were cycling in central London. So this is near Big Ben, where we were all cycling around central London. So I take my kids cycling around London, and that's as much as I can really get out. It's things I do with my kids now. Is what I spend my time with. So, yeah.
So your passion is one is cycling, another one is movie. That's what you confessed. Now let me ask you, do you the left side movie? Can you tell me the name?
Yes, so
the other side, his name is written, that is Amar Akbar Anthony.
Yeah, surely, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah,
surely.
So put a big round of applause for him. He could identify this is surely. So now I'll ask you, what are the 3 characters there in Amar Akbar Anthony?
So one's a gangster, that's Amitabh Bachchan, one's a police officer, and one is more of he's like a fun guy. He doesn't really do very much, but he's kind of
impressed. So you have actually seen the movie. You have not bluffed us. So and what was the name of these 2 guys in Sholay? Do you remember? This is a big famous name.
Yeah.
All WhatsApp, kind of, MMS and everything. You will keep on seeing their names.
I can't remember at this point. So.
I'll give you a tip. Jai and Viru.
Oh, Viru, yeah.
Jai and Viru. So they were the very close friends, and then this is exactly the. So do you actually have any? Do you see Disney movies also along with your kids, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, we actually watch a lot of the old classics because we grew up with my parents watching them. But my kids actually are quite interested in. They're quite musical. But now I spend a lot of time with kids' movies, and now we have an 8-month-old. We're watching a lot of baby TV now as well. So we're kind of back and forth. So yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
So I'm sure you see good number of Hollywood movies as well. But do you see Bengali movies or Bangladeshi movies at all?
Yes, my wife knows all the background and gossip and all the
Yeah.
things about those movies. She knows all about that, so she fills me in. But yeah, I don't mind watching 3 hours. I can get through 3 hours. Yeah.
Let me test your Bengali skill now. Then. So can you say a few words in Bengali?
আমি আমার বাংলা বেশি ভালো না আমি সব বলতে পারি না কিন্তু অল্প বলতে পারি আমি লিখতে পারি আমি স্কুল সময় আমি চোখ পড়ছে আর লিখছে কিন্তু আমি বেশি ফ্লুয়েন্ট না আমার বউ শুধু বাংলা পারে সিলাটি পারে সব পারে কিন্তু আমার বাংলা বেশি ভালো না got an accent
So if she does not get any time, I can offer you for an online Bengali course from here, from Calcutta to you. So maybe at late night I can give you Bengali classes for you. So let me start with this. So can you just tell us what is written there? You will not be able to read it.
King Kacho
I will give you, now this is easy for you.
oh okay King
So you are down.
What would you like to?
I'm sure you will go home and then ask your wife that these are the things Rupak has given me. So this is we talk about the king kartavya bimor means when you don't know what to do. At some point of time you are suddenly stuck. So this is the situation what we describe. It's a very difficult term which we could have put a little less easy term, but again this is what it does mean. This is another one for you.
Nastanbud.
I'll give you a tip. Like what I am making you now.
Under pressure. Uncomfortable.
No, not
Nervous.
Nastanbud means actually you are totally being, what should I say? Being perplexed or maybe some amount of the softer way of heckling kind of thing. I'm just totally kind of thing. So this is being perplexed kind of thing. So this is another one, and it's very difficult to explain Nastanabud in English. Is it who can? Tulika, you can do it for me. I think you have the more vocabulary than me. No, English vocabulary. Bengali vocabulary I have. This is another one. Aga Pastala. Oh, sorry, I have pronounced it for you.
Yeah.
So you have to pronounce.
Is Pashtala not mean the 5th floor?
No. Pastala is yes. Pastala is 5th floor, but this is different. You have to start with Aga. What is mean by Aga?
Well,
This is Aga means the top, Pash means the side, and Tala means the bottom. So it is top to bottom. So that means Aga Pasta.
Right.
So I think I'll give you maybe 1 out of 10, not more than that. Thank you so much. I mean, this amazing learning we have with you. Sir, if you anything specific wisdom or tip of wisdom, if you want to tell us one more for you now, sir.
I mean, the way I look at what I do generally is what my father says to me is that we're here for a purpose. Because he's telling my son this all the time where he meets him, although he doesn't understand, he's saying the same thing. And I think, you have an opportunity in life and you have to be selfless and sacrifice and not think about yourself all the time, really, which is difficult. So you just have to, at the end of the day, it's for your family. So, and also, of course, your patience at work. But, you've always got to keep looking forward. So,
I think we'll put a big round of applause for all of them. And this is how meaningful is the session. So that's what we wanted to know, their life, their personal life, their sorrows, their difficulties, where they have struggled, they have dream which has not come true. So all putting together, this is how, after all, they are all human beings. So whatever the feeling we have, they all have the similar feeling, but even they have gone beyond that feeling to be into that stature. So we salute all of you for what you have achieved for today and sharing your thought processes so that the next generation get inspired to live with your footsteps. Thank you. Thank you once again. Thank you so much, sir. And probably Dr. Tulika Ghoshal is being ready for the next session. So I have given you for 10 minutes before, so you have time to get prepared for that.